Let's talk about the most anticipated blockbusters of 2025. Now, I will be making a longer list with a ton of other movies, but these are like the main big releases. I was thinking we would do summer and then that's all, but pretty much looking at this list of movies that are coming out, it looks like they're trying to release a blockbuster every month, which is a big new thing with Hollywood, right? So let's get into it. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We just made a video for January, so if you're just looking for the January movies, we got it over there. We just did it yesterday. This is throughout the whole year or so. Bear that in mind. So let's get into it with one of the biggest movies of the year, which is going to be none other than Mickey 17. At least it was until it actually got moved. We'll talk about that in a bit. But let's get on with January, which has one of my most anticipated movies, which is Companion, a new film from Drew Hancock. Actually, featured debut here, and it says, quote unquote, a new kind of love story. We see Sophie Thatcher, Jack Quaid, also has Lucas Gage, Megan Suri, Harvey Guillen, and Rupert Friend in this one, and Zach Cregger is producing, and I will be seated for this one. Looks interesting. The trailer really got to me, and I've been excited for this one ever since. It had a small premiere of sorts in Los Angeles a couple of months ago, I believe. It got pretty good reviews there, but I'm very excited to see them really flesh this movie out and see what we're going in for. I mean, Barbarian was still one of my most beloved experiences in a theater. Seeing what unfolded there was just chaotic and insane. Excited to talk about Companion this month. Next one on the list is going to be Captain America Brave New World. Now, I know, MCU, it's easy to kick the MCU when it's down, but it definitely is one of those things that has really elevated the box office and kept theaters alive alongside horror. I will always be seated if they make something good. I really don't care. But Captain America Brave New World is Anthony Mackie as the Captain America, and now he is going to try and figure out this big conspiracy that's going around, as we see Tim Blake Nelson, that country accent coming out right now. But we see that he now becomes the leader, which is a very well-known Marvel villain, which was teased back in the Incredible Hulk film that came out years and years ago with Edward Norton. Thaddeus Ross here, and of course, this is going to be an exciting one for sure. Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk. What more do you want? What more do you want? I'm seeing this one on the biggest screen possible. Here's one for a lot of people that might get you excited, and that is going to be Paddington in Peru. I have not really watched the last Paddington film. I should watch it. A lot of people always tell me to watch it, but we will definitely be open for that one. But a lot of people are excited for this. Next one is going to be Mickey 17. Yes, Mickey 17. You gotta wait a couple of months, but it will finally release this year, which is Bong Joon-ho's latest film after the Academy Award winning Parasite, in which we have Robert Pattinson, Naomi Ackie, Toni Collette, Mark Ruffalo, Steven Yeun. Cast is great, story's interesting, director's brilliant. This is going to be an amazing one for sure. We move on down and we get to April, where we have a Minecraft movie. Now, Minecraft movie is definitely an exciting one for me. This one is one I've been waiting for so long, and it stars Jason Momoa, Jennifer Coolidge, Jack Black, Daniel Brooks, Emma Myers, and this is from the same director as the film Napoleon Dynamite, which is a movie I've watched many times. That's one of my most watched movies of all time. I will be seated. I'm a fan of the game. I've been really loving what I'm seeing so far. I'm there. Let's backtrack a bit, because we also have Disney Snow White, which is directed by Mark Webb, Rachel Zegler, Gal Gadot in this. And, I know a lot of people like to dump on the movie and everything like that, but I'll give it a chance. Mark Webb, I love what he does. I think Rachel Zegler is an amazing actress, so I will be seated. Next, we have Sinners in April, which moved now, and that is actually directed by Ryan Coogler. Michael B. Jordan starring, Haley Steinfeld, as well as Jack O'Connell. And this is vampires, and that's all I need to know. Just give me vampire and give me Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan together. This is going to be great, and this is just very exciting here. Let's get into the true summer now with Thunderbolts in May, a movie that I wasn't entirely sure how I felt about when I first heard about it. Then we got some little sneak peeks. Then they were hiding the trailer for a bit for some reason, but we're finally getting this film, and the latest trailer, I'm sold. If you're excited for Lilo and Stitch, the live action film, I kind of am on board with you. I think that the director did the film Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, which I thought was a very cute film. So I'm curious to see what they do with this one. Not much has been shown just yet about it, but I think we're getting something very interesting here. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning comes out the end of May, actually, May 23rd. Christopher Maguire, Tom Cruise, Haley Atwell, Simon Pegg, Vanessa Kirby, Palm Clementif, the end of Mission Impossible, supposedly. But we'll see, we'll see. I did enjoy Dead Reckoning, and I'm curious to see what they want to do here. This is a movie I had no clue about, but it is Karate Kid Legends, which is Jackie Chan, Ben Wong, Ming-Na Wen, Joshua Jackson, and Ralph Macchio here. No clue about this one. There's a trailer for it, which I'll probably watch, or I probably already watched by the time you're watching this, and we'll talk about it more as it comes out closer, because this was a movie that caught me off guard. Next, we have Ballerina as we enter June. This is Ana de Armas, Keanu Reeves, Ian McShane, Lance Reddick in this, Norman Reedus, Angelica Huston. Very stacked cast here. It is a spin-off of the John Wick series, and we shall see, we shall see. Elio is the next film that is going to be coming out from Pixar, their 20th feature film, which follows after 2023's Elemental. And I saw the trailer for this for the first time, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go watch this in theaters. But then we have How to Train Your Dragon coming out as well in June, which is Mason Thames and Nico Parker starring in this with Gerard Butler, based on the animated film How to Train Your Dragon, which I still need to watch. Yes, I'm not doing it right? But I will be watching it before this film comes out. I saw this trailer for the first time when I went to watch Wicked. Absolutely made me cry. And I'm definitely excited to watch this movie. As we get to the end of June, we get to 28 Years Later with Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jodie Comer, Ralph Fiennes, and Jack O'Connell. Jack O'Connell's having a year, isn't he? But this is coming on June 20th, and this is after almost like 20 years since the last film came out. Alex Garland continues writing, and Danny Boyle continues directing. And I've talked about this trailer already, but once we get another trailer, we'll discuss it even more. We also get Megan 2.0 in June 27th, 2025, with Allison Williams returning, Jenna Davis, Bobby McGraw, and I don't know. Megan was fun. I don't know about Megan 2.0, but we'll see if they can continue it on, right? Then we get one of the most expensive films that will come out, and that is Joseph Kosinski's film F1 starring Brad Pitt and Damson Idris, and it comes out June 27th. It's race cars. Damson's a great actor. Brad Pitt, of course, is Brad Pitt. We will be seated, I guess. July comes around and we get Jurassic World Rebirth, a movie that gets me more and more excited as I hear about it. And I'll tell you, I was not excited at all when I first heard it announced, but Gareth Edwards has a vision. Scarlett Johansson is great. Mahershala Ali, I'm excited to see finally getting more recognition, because Mahershala should have been in a ton of other things already. Rupert Friend yet again. Jonathan Bailey, of course, making a twofer this year as well, with Wicked Part 2 later. We'll talk about that as well. But this one sounds interesting. I've made some videos talking about what Jurassic World Rebirth will be about if you want to go check that out. Really solid summer so far, honestly. Because then the next week we have Superman, which is the film from James Gunn, which is supposed to really kick in his DC universe. David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nathan Fillion, Isabella Merced. You also have Nicholas Hoult. I'm excited. The trailer got to me. I've been anticipating it for some time now. I think James Gunn is phenomenal when it comes to directing and writing. I think he's going to do us justice, honestly. We move on to the Smurfs 2. Well, actually, I don't know. This is not the Smurfs 2. How many Smurfs movie has there been? But this is the Smurfs movie with Rihanna, Nick Offerman, Natasha Lyonne, Dan Levy, Nick Kroll, James Corden, Octavia Spencer, Kurt Russell, John Goodman, and Hannah Waddingham. So I have no clue what this is about. I didn't even know it's coming out. I'm just reading the list right now. The Fantastic Four First Steps comes out on July 25th, 2025, directed by Matt Shakman, who did one of my favorite MCU shows, which is WandaVision. This is definitely getting me excited. I believe we'll get a trailer pretty soon, so definitely seated for this one. Then we move on to The Bad Guys 2, which The Bad Guys was a pretty great success, which came out back in 2022, so of course they were going to do a second one. The next movie that doesn't have a title just yet is the new Paul Thomas Anderson film, which is going to star Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Regina Hall, Tiana Taylor, Wood Harris, and no clue what this is about. Some people have some ideas, but nobody really knows. But I will be seated for this one for sure. So the next one on the list is going to be Thread, an Insidious tale, which I didn't even know was coming out either. Another Insidious movie. Whoa, here we go. Mandy Moore and Kumail Nanjiani star in the 6th installment of Blumhouse's horror franchise Insidious. That's all we know. We shall see. We shall see. September rolls around and we get The Bride, the new film from Maggie Gyllenhaal starring Christian Bale, Jessie Buckley, Jake Gyllenhaal, Peter Sarsgaard. We've seen the pictures. This looks like it's going to be really, really good, honestly. But that is not the only Frankenstein movie we're getting. We'll talk about that in a bit. But then we move on later into September where we will have Saw 11. No word yet on it, but Saw 10 was so good. I'm excited for this one. Then, of course, we have Michael, which is the Michael Jackson film biopic directed by Antoine Fuqua. Very, very excited for this one. I cannot wait to see what this will bring. And let's see what it's going to be. Going on, we have Tron Ares, which is a new film that is going to be coming out in the Tron filmography with Jared Leto, Greta Lee, Cameron Monaghan, Evan Peters, Gillian Anderson, Jodie Turner-Smith, Arturo Castro, Hassan Minaj, and Jeff Bridges. This has a very stacked cast, honestly. We shall see. We shall see. The Black Phone 2 comes out October 17th, 2025. Ethan Hawke, Mason Thames, Madeline McGraw, Jeremy Davies, and Miguel Mora in this one. The original cast all returning, and now we go from a middle school story to a high school story, according to Scott Derrickson. We've talked about this already. Go check out that video if you want. Then we get Mortal Kombat 2, which comes out 4 years since the last film came out. And we're here for it. We'll see what happens. Begonia, which is the latest film from Yorgos Lanthimos with Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons, will be releasing November 7th, 2025. And, this is based on a already established film that came out like almost 2 decades ago, I believe, or 3 almost. So we'll see what happens with this one. Predator Badlands, directed by Dan Trachtenberg, starring Elle Fanning. This is coming out November 7th, 2025. No word exactly on what this one will be, but we will be anticipating and we will be excited. The Running Man by Edgar Wright and starring Glenn Powell as well as Katie O'Brien. No clue about this one that much. Basically, it says it's based on a Stephen King novel, which I didn't even know, but I'm excited to see what this one's going to bring. Then, of course, November 21st brings us to Wicked 2, or Wicked for Good. Whole cast is returning. Let's see how they really bring this one home, because I'm excited for it. Zootopia 2 comes around, which has been a movie that I've been wondering, when were we going to get Zootopia 2, right? It's been almost a decade, right? Or more since we got one. Jason Bateman returning, Jennifer Goodwin, Rolando Davila Beltran. Very excited to see what they bring. December is here, and Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is on the way with Emma Tammy returning and the rest of the cast as well that we saw in the previous one. What could they bring? No clue, but we're there. Avatar Fire and Ash will be releasing December 19th, 2025. The third film in the franchise where we will see the fire people, the ash people, whatever you want to call them. Then we get into SpongeBob movie, which is Search for SquarePants, which will be coming out December 19th, 2025. Then in December 25th, 2025 for Christmas, we get The Housemaid starring Sydney Sweeney, Amanda Seyfried, based on the novel of the same name. Some of those films are exciting. Some of them I'm a little bit wary, but I'm excited for the most part. Honestly, I'll watch a lot of these movies. We'll talk about them. We'll see. I wonder which ones will premiere at festivals and things like that. But as soon as we watch them, we'll talk about them. But let me know which of these movies, these big releases, are you most excited for in 2025? And which one are you like, I gotta see it day one? Comment below and let me know. Follow us for more on all things you love. And I'll see all of you next time. As always, stay safe, stay positive.